Like taking got my radar up. Something going on. I feel funny, can't tell me nothing different. Nose twitching, intuition set, and then like Steve Fisher, I still close my eyes, still I see vision, still hear that voice in the back of my mind. So what I do, I still take that stage and listen. I still paint that perfect picture. I still shine bright like a perfect. My words are still. I know you can't, don't, won't get it. So you try that shit, get soaked with it. I'm still afloat. I ain't the captain of the yacht, but I'm on boat. I ain't acting with a knife, knowing that I don't. Acting like a will, but I'm not. I read between the lines of the eyes of your brows. Your head should match your smile. Staring at that ass, ready to go bananas. That's so. That's the. So, my mind can't tricks on me. I ain't sticks on me. Body drop up and make it on me. It's like they try to dice. I hear this voice like in my mind, like that tighten up your soul. But they hurt you. Be they body to body. Like they try to fake communication now. Stupid man, stupid man, some other. Even watch you puff the left. The cards go against all lies. You for the moon, this is still amongst stars. Restrictions, stroke, you got the devil with it. Get still, I still show levitate. Why do I speak blasphemy? They don't ask me, ask for myself. No one to feel this right me. I go do it so you can do it. Ask me, I'm still so off rocket. I'm just still cautious. This ain't black. Stay, that's the clear, still black. Let's say, I feel like it ain't not necessary. They us. It's a good bad. It's a soul in the honest.
Yo, yo, yo. I hope y'all don't mind. I had to let that play out. I had to let that play out before we started our show today. Please, I'm going ahead and make sure you join us for this live. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, we are, yeah, I am going to remove this for a second. Wait a minute. Look at me. Well, welcome y'all to another what's going on. So well, y'all are seeing what's going on here. We are joining Brad by Tommie T today, and he is going to be telling us about this awesome book. I'm telling y'all, when I saw it, I was no way. I've got to have him on the show. I've have him a part of this amazing opportunity to engage in a very colored conversation. It ain't even Thursday, y'all. Now I'm bringing this to y'all. I'm telling y'all, I said I made a commitment in August because y'all know August, it was Black August. Happy new month, y'all. But I said now that we are fully into the next month, I am going to be pulling any punches. I am bringing the best in the interviews. I am bringing the best in events. I am bringing the best in coverage. So without any further ado, we are bringing him to the stage, y'all. Woo! Hey. How are you?
Hello there.
Is that me? Or is your mic like a little groggy?
I understand. Yeah, that's how I'm hearing it. I'm trying. Hopefully y'all can hear me clearly. I'll talk slowly. All I have is my cell phone. I'm not in front of a computer, so sorry for the static. I'm
Okay, I'm
actually in
just wondering
traffic.
if the sound. I'm
I'm about to pull
just
over.
wondering if the
Hopefully they
sound
don't.
me. Hey, read it, real deal.
Excuse me.
I'm just wondering if the sound me. Like, do I sound groggy?
I don't. Let me see if I can do anything.
Okay, real deal say he can hear you. Okay, real deal though. Can you hear me? And do I sound like?
Can you hear me now?
Do I sound froggy? I mean,
Can,
I lose my voice.
can you hear me now?
Okay, so I can hear you. He can't hear me. So I know what I need to do. Let me hold on one moment. One moment. All right, all right. Now is that better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Woo. Now we're gonna get it going. All right, so first of all, introduce yourself. I mean, you should have done that while I was off. That's what you
I
should
was
have.
thinking about what to do. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm
We
just
have a
staring in the camera, looking at myself. Um, but no, I'm Thomas Tobert. I'm a native of Louisville, Kentucky. Um, I'm a Gemini. I'm in my 30s, so I'm an 80s baby. And right now, I'm living in Florida. I'm a self-published author. My debut book is United Nigga Nation: The Death of Racism, and that's the reason we are here today is to discuss the book. It's it took me about a year to actually, channel all my thoughts and complete the book. So I released it on my birthday in 2020, the year of hindsight, to where everybody could. Everything I was speaking about in the book was inevitable for people to not pay attention to anymore, with the whole "Make America Great Again," "Black Lives Matter," whatever slogan was your forte. I said, hey, a lot of this stuff is kind of wishy-washy, if you ask me. So, what's something that I could stand on and be proud of uh, was actually bringing all my thoughts to a T and saying a united nigga nation, which is the death of racism. Once we identify ourselves as the nation that we are, um, we know that racism only lives through practices, systems, and institutions within creating a nation, or identifying a nation, and then giving it all its backing and power. Racism will have no place to live because we have our own practices, systems, and institutions to where we can abide by our own laws and legislations and rules, whatever you want to call it. But I think we focus too much on the culture as a people, and we all know a culture is forever changing and interchangeable. So I wanted to take it a step further and say, hey, we're a nation. We're not just a culture. And my smartest way of doing so was to put it in a book form. Uh, I've been a bookworm my whole life, so
love it.
I finally got to the core of the apple, so to speak, and I felt I could write my own book instead of citing other people's books and selling other people's books like I've done in my past. I figured it's time for me to go ahead and write my own, and I did so, and that's actually why I'm on the road now. I just came from promoting and selling my book. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis now. I free myself. Didn't wait on nobody to free me.
Okay, so we this is where the minds, merge. Because when you said, you freed yourself, you're not worried about anyone freeing you. So within my circle, Brother Bakari, who I hope will make it here today, but if not, he'll be here Saturday for the MX Media Group panel. I hope you can join us on that panel as well if you're available Saturday morning. But he came up with a term that he calls internal reparations. So, um, oh, someone private chatted me and asked me what these lips do, what they doing. They talking, they moving. Thank you, sir, or ma'am. We'll never know these days. Thank you. At any rate, they're awesome. They give awesome kisses too. Yes, but we have a term that he said internal reparations, and it's basically us supporting one another. And I thought that he was so on point because for the first time in my life, like literally, I am solely surviving off of a hobby, cooking. I'm solely surviving off of cooking right now. That has been the bulk of my income the past 6-7 months, and that's incredible that I never thought that to be the case prior. I always thought, I've had multiple businesses while I still worked a corporate job. And I'm just like, okay, this is what you got to do because we aren't going to support us. But when the pandemic hit, the support definitely hit differently. And I've been able to do a multiple of things through my business and through my brand that I never was able to do prior to pre-pandemic, so to speak. So I want you to, there are a couple of things that I want to do here with you while we have you on the show. I am super excited again, by the way. I mean, even just because we've been, phone tagging at different times of the day for the past couple of days, but we haven't even sat down for a full conversation. So y'all are witnessing something real major right now. Y'all are witnessing. So I surround myself also with authors because I'm a bookworm, just like what you said, self identified, self diagnosed. And one of my brothers in Revolution, my brothers in spirit, my brother in fight, Palmetto Star, that is how my business, Colored Only Cafe, launched. It launched through a book event that I was asked to host for him for his launch. And so I was like, I've been thinking about this concept with my food menu. It's called Colored Only, and the name of his book is 3 Steps to End Racism Right Now. And it talked about us having our own. So when I tell you from what I'm writing, which I share with you, the series that I'm writing, to, like I said, people that I have just been divinely aligned with, right down to you, literally the day of that you and I, touch bases. Someone had just told you about me. And then here we are touching bases. I'm just super excited. So I hope I can kind of like suppress my giddiness a little bit to just really let you get through the bulk of your project. How you, 3 major questions I want to ask here. How you, like I know you're a bookworm, but what was the moment that defined, hey, when you said, I've got to write this book, I've got to put this in writing? What did that moment look like? Or I know it was probably the culmination of a couple of moments, but what moments particularly stood out that, you came to that conclusion that, yes, I'm going to put my pen to the pad and I'm going to write this book? 2, where has your demographic gotten the most support from? Has it been from male, female? Has it been from male or female, or has it been balanced? Okay. And three, how do you think because I told you about my movement, Fuck That Rent. How do you think the Fuck That Rent movement can be instrumental in assisting the identification of the UNN, if you will? So with that being said, I'm gonna put myself on mute. I'm gonna let you just handle that, and then we're gonna definitely have a discussion after I jump in this room and see what this room doing, see what they're talking about.
Okay, and it's good timing because I got to where I was wanting to go. I felt that this would be a good place for me to be at today to do this interview. I'm at a plantation. I'm at an ex-plantation, so I'm about to go ahead and park.
Wow. So bruh, are you serious? You really in my backyard right now. Literally and figuratively. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, so,
let's go. Let's do it.
And it stopped raining so I can get out. But this is an old plantation. So I always think like this is our history hiding in our face that we don't participate in because we don't see it beneficial to ourselves. But to answer your questions first, the goal moment for me, of course it's an embodiment of things, but it was a specific moment because I used to sell cars, believe it or not. I used to have like the clean cut. I had the 360 waves. I wore ties and shit every day. I was a square nigga, I mean, on appearance, but in my mind, I've always been me. So deep down, I've had these 3 words in my head for the longest: United Nigga Nation. Been about 10 years. I just had these words in my head. At first, I thought there was gonna be like a music company or something, like make mixtapes or something. Just let all the niggas from the hood rap, or have some ghetto Olympics or something. And now I see that crate challenge going crazy. That's funny. But so all that stuff's been in my head, but I didn't know what to do with it. I just always been reading, living normal life. So to speed up the answer, I always been a big fan of Nipsey Hussle. Believe that's my guy. I was a fan before he passed, but when he did pass, it kind of hit me like I knew him, and I always had this thing in my head I was going to meet him, and we was going to vibe out. Whatever, you don't know if anybody else thinks like that. You're going to meet a celebrity that you are a fan of. But when Nipsey died, and it was just like a damn moment, and listening to his whole catalog, and it just brought back so many old memories I had. And it was that song, a specific song was I've been riding, I've been smoking, I've been drinking. What the fuck have I been doing? So I had a big house, I had the perfect job, I was a top salesman, I had a brand new car, the sunroof was open, I was having a good time, blowing my head off, and just living life. I thought I was on top of the world, and then listening to that song, it just hit me like like a like a block of bricks that's out the sky. It's like boom, what the hell have you been doing? If you was to die today, you were just gonna be a good car salesman. You know what I mean? And I'm not happy with that. I wasn't happy with that. I didn't want to die a car salesman. Lord forbid if I would have gotten a wreck or anything, my life would have been over. And all they could say at my funeral was he was a good car salesman. He was a good family guy. Whoopty whoop whoop. So I had already started writing the book because I have a mentor and all this stuff. So I've been jotting. I wasn't never taking it serious. So from that moment on, I took it serious. I said I got to write this book. So I moved from Louisville, Kentucky, to Washington D.C. And I moved to D.C. so I could clear my head out because in Louisville I had too many sidetracks and shortcomings. It was just I was all in the web of confusion. So to clear my mind and focus on myself, to brain dump all of my thoughts, I had to leave the city. So I left the city, went to Washington D.C. I brain dumped it, got it all together, and make a long story short, I got a book now. So, and I don't sell cars anymore. I still got people calling me for cars, but I just switch them in a different direction. So it was basically a conglomerate of life, and then that just a moment that came out of nowhere, thinking I was on top of the world, but I just got humbled. Like, man, you ain't nothing. You know what I mean? Who are you? So I'm more comfortable if I was to, lightning strike me now. I leave happily because I knew I put this out in the world. It's heartfelt. It's from my heart. It's from my mind. It started off as just an idea. I read so many books talking about how people's fortunes or their fame, whatever it may be, comes from an idea. Nobody ever works to be, you know what I'm saying, to get to their promised land. People always go and do their own thing. Now we live in a society to where we uphold athletes and a lot of people that work for people, and that's beyond me. But that's neither here nor there. But like I said, I took it upon myself to write the book. I published the book. I found my own editors. My brother-in-law did the cover. So it's safe to say that this is all about us. No help from the other side except for the distribution. So this is definitely a B.O.B. book, and I think that I can go on and on, but I think that's about good enough for the first answer, your first question. And so basically, it was a lifelong journey, but I come to a epiphany to where I had to do something that I felt was going to live forever, create my legacy. So, and I never thought about writing more books. Like I wrote one book, and I thought that was, you know what I'm saying, I was just going to focus on this book and take that to the top. But now I got all these new thoughts, and I got to write another book. Like, oh man, but that's that's in the future. But through this journey, I've also been able to travel the country with my book. I've been as far as from Times Square to Rodeo Drive with the book, selling it. I just walk up to people and ask them, "Do you like to read?" And like I said, I took my car selling experience, so I try to mesh it with the book selling thing. So nobody's a stranger to me. I never met a stranger, so I always can talk to people. It's not a problem. So within doing that, getting to your second question. Um, since I'm a heterosexual man, women is easier to sell to than men. So my main customer base is women. I would say the majority of my customers have been women, but also I get a lot of respect and love from the male. So I would say I would say 60-40, 70-35, 65-35, it's sort of in that range, but always um, women are more supportive of men and vice versa. Men are going to be more supportive of women just in sales. I learned that in car sales. You get a woman, she gonna sell every man. You get a man, he gonna sell every woman. That's just how it is. That's how the world works. Now I'm not getting into the confusion that we are in now of the world where they changing bathrooms and all that stuff. That's confusing and beyond me. But I think that's your first two questions. So the third question was, y'all, yes, with your, did you say fuck the rent? So yes, rent is basically you're basically an employee for the owner of that establishment. So within owning your own, you have renters or you can rent out. So with fuck the rent,
It's you're sharecropping, and
yeah,
sharecropping is directly from slavery.
pretty much.
That's what you're doing. You're mining a land, but you're paying to live while you work the land. And this is where the real rub is, right? Most of us, when I say us, I mean, Black people, we don't live where we work. We live in one place, work another. And
And usually
so
far
that
from
right
each other.
there, you're going against you're going against the natural benefit that's supposed to be. That was the main thing with sharecropping. You were working and living your land, right? But
Yeah,
it is the derivative. Rent is a derivative of sharecropping, but you're not even having the full benefit of the fact that you're basically paying rent to the road
yeah,
because you're traveling, going elsewhere, and then in traveling, going back home and living somewhere else. And so
yeah.
it's like you're paying rent to two different places. But
And
I digress. Go
and rent
ahead.
and like you're not renting, like the rent to own concept is understandable, but half the time you just throwing, like, it's basically like you saying, you just throwing money away and you're not building yourself up, and you usually got to drive far to your destination. So yes, I'm definitely for for sure. But the fuck the rent is major in my world because I've been dealing with renting my whole life, and the wiser I get, the less I want to rent. But that's like you said, that's about as far as that elevator goes. But at least I want to rent from somebody Black that owns it. You know what I mean? But yes, the more we
Well,
own,
you only have a 9% opportunity, and depending on your city or your state, only 9% of land of property owners are African American people. There are 43 million rental units in the United States. And of those 43 million, the majority of renters are young. They're between the ages of 35 and 44. However, it has increased over the past 10 years, according to the new census, that 44 and up are becoming mostly renters now. But of that, disproportionately, 70 to 80% of the 43 million units of rent in the United States, 70-80% are rented by Black people. But
and
that's
that's
going to change. You know what's going to change that? Afghanistan, or that's going to be a part of the change. The Afghanistan coming in, they're going to fill up that rental class. So guess what that leaves African Americans to do? Either we going to have to be bumped up to ownership class, or we're going to go and even be more increasing on the homeless or the communal living. So we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to discuss, but yeah,
that's
if you
deep.
want
You
to rent
touched
from a Black person, you only have a 9% chance to do it.
Yeah, and that's deep that you touched that subject because that's something I haven't truly indulged in to know the specifics that you just laid out, but it's very vivid to me in my travels and my journey in life. So, wow, that's what I can say about that. But in order to counteract that, that is that's great that that we are having this interview because yes, the UNN, the death of racism, has an actual something that could work with where we get our own districts. Within the districts, of course, we own the whole district. That's one of the things that I see uh, that will be glorious for us and rectifying of the structural issues that America has is the fact that you go you can go through city to city, state to state, and you can hear about different zones or districts or whatnot, and how many, like, we have hoods. Unfortunately, the hoods are not, everybody knows the hoods aren't owned by us, but we overpopulated. So within demeaning these districts, uh, the descendants of American slaves is what, once you get into the book, you'll see that I'm actually the vice president of the organization. We just are kind of stagnant. But once we're able to implement districts, and all we got to do is change a hood, call a hood a district, and within the district, we own and control it as a government. With us being a nation, because we're not, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that we Black America is a nation. Because if it wasn't the fact, we wouldn't be called Black America. We would just be Americans. But calling us Black Americans identifies the fact that we are a separate nation within the nation that we live in. So it's kind of, it's wordy, but once you break it down to what it is, you can see the obviousness of it. If you look at the 400-year history or whatever that we talk about, we are a separate nation. Everything has always been separate from how they talk white and Black. Now, a lot of the other minorities have come in. I'm not here to say fuck them, but I'm here to say we got to focus on us. When we focus on us, a lot of people get offended by that. But I'm very offensive, so I don't give a fuck. So they can, you know what I'm saying, do what they do, because they definitely do what they do. I'm pretty sure the Asian American bill proves something to that fact. And we don't want to see what these Afghans are going to do once they get here. We already see what the other minorities are doing as they are here. You can't go to a store anymore in the hood without it being of a different minority. They talking about we jig with you. But with what I'm saying is, with us being the nation that we are, and we claim our own territory, then they have to pay taxes to us. They don't pay taxes to America no more. They pay taxes to us, and they operate underneath our control, and not our control, but they operate underneath our nation. If they want to still operate in our districts in our nation,
they operate under our jurisdiction. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Districts
So
have jurisdiction. Absolutely.
Long as we stay trying to fit into their system, we're falling victim of the game, of the plan. So the whole understanding that racism only lives through practices, institutions, and systems, we have to create our own systems, practices, and institutions. But it's hard to do when the foot's been on your neck your whole legacy. So within doing so, it's a matter of us just identifying who we truly are. Black is nothing but a color that Crayola put upon us. I know some Black people, like really like the color black, like my shirt. But when you dig into a true identity of a class, or they call us races, like a race wasn't even mentioned before America got a hold of it. So when you're dealing with a race, what's a race? You're in a race to get somewhere. So we're actually running backwards while everybody else is running forwards. We don't even identify ourselves as a nation. We still lost in the culture. I say we're in kindergarten. We're in cultural kindergarten, because we have arguments over our name. Because in kindergarten, you learn your name and where your origins and all that good stuff. We still can't come to a consensus on what our name is. We don't know if we're Black, we're African American, we're colored, Negro, Lord knows. And nobody even mentions the freedmen stuff anymore. So it's just I can get long-winded on this topic, but so I think it's about time for me to hold up. I see a lot of comments popping up in the thing. I can't get to them as I would like to, but
I will definitely share some. So Cooking with Sir Senior says that he wants a copy. I will do you this, Sir Senior. I want to share my dove story really quick, because I thought that was very funny. So, Sir Senior, I will pay for half of your book, because apparently I've already put 5 on it. So I'll put another 5 on it, which will be half of a dove. And you will get an autographed copy from Tommie T. It will be, of course, from him directly, because that's one thing too that I'm really, big on, going right to the source. I don't do no Amazon or nothing like that. And so we're gonna pay to get the book directly from him. So, Sir Senior, you'll just go ahead and you can cash at me 10. I'll go ahead and, cover the rest so that we can get you a copy of the book. And I'm still getting my copy, Tommie T. Don't worry. I want to celebrate my glowers. Sir Senior is very supportive. He was in here. He's always here ahead of time, on time, whether I'm on time or not. It reminded me of Michael Jackson had a drummer. I think his name was Sugarfoot. And he said, even if I'm not on beat, Sugarfoot gonna be on beat. Even if I'm not here on time, Cooking with Sir Senior gonna be here on time. So I want to reward him, and I will go ahead and, like I said, pay for half of the book. Cooking with Sir Senior, you can go ahead and cash at me 10, and then we gonna get Brother Tommie T that dub. I'm so funny with that story. I'm telling you, it's really. I be laughing myself. Now I feel like when I write not Soldier Boy, when I write NBA YoungBoy letters, in when I write him some letters, I can be more efficient with my language.
Yes. So
how much I'm gonna put a dub on your books, NBA YoungBoy. I'm gonna put a dub on his books, y'all.
So just a little follow up on the whole dub story. Within, because of course, if this wasn't a capitalist society, I would love just to give the book to everybody. You know what I mean? But then I don't know how that works. But so within trying to come to a legitimate thing to say, I come up with the concept of a dub because even within the book, in order to be a nation, every nation has its own language. So the Ebonics is Ebony Phonics, which was created out in Oakland when they were trying to identify the black culture in Oakland as a nation. So they had to implement a language to get the funds from the government. So they came up with Ebonics. This was in the early millennium, like late '90s, early millennium. But it was kind of laughed out the room by the educated black folk of America, saying it was like too much slang, like basically called it a slanguage. So it kind of died down. But it still lives on in every hood and in every black person. We know terms that don't cross cultures. So the dub term, well, to my knowledge, it originated from the hip hop era where they was riding on dubs. Cash Money and them was riding on dubs, Twinkies, whatever they were. But the dub concept translated into the 20-inch rim, to where it translated into a $20, to where $20 bill. So everybody, like, even in the hood and shopping, I don't know how many people have, but a lot of people buy dubs from a florist, a ghetto florist, also known as the weed man. You go get a dub and you give them $20. So that concept has, that term translates to all hoods of America.
Yeah,
So
I was
all the
told it
hoods.
comes from drug culture, but I've never purchased drugs. I've never done weed. I wouldn't know. And it's funny, like I said, I've only been offered drugs twice my whole life, right? I guess people always just they always figured I was high, or they figured I was like low key. Like, people have accused me of being like working for like officers. Like, I used to want to be a firefighter, but I never wanted to be a cop. But it was funny. It was funny. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I grew up strictly. My parents were very slang was not allowed to be spoken in our house.
But it's
My
also
mom.
there's a dub magazine. So like I said, it kind of originated from my understanding. I may be wrong. Like I said, we still in cultivation of this nation. But within from my understanding, my first acknowledgement of a dub was listening to rap music, to where they were talking about they were riding on dubs, which they were, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I associated it with.
So
I just.
it's still the 20. So it's a denomination, because to get back to the so when I was thinking of how to market, when I market the book, when somebody asked me how much it is, I felt more comfortable with saying it's a dub compared to saying $20. So people would say, how much is it? I say a dub. Somebody who knows $20, no, a dub. You know what I'm saying? Speaking about a united nigga nation, we need to uplift our terminology, our foundation. So, in simple terms, a dub is a denomination for 20, whether it be cash, whether it be in inches, whether it be like a girl can get a dub of hair, so it's 20 inches of hair, or you can get a dub bag of wheel, $20 worth of wheel, or you can get you can ride on dubs with 20 inches rims, and that's kind of obsolete now. Like 20 is small now with inflation of rims and everything else, but I figured that would be something that's a teaching moment to enlighten people on the fact that this could be used. This is a term in Ebonics. This is a term in Ebonics that that niggas know. I mean, and it's funny to where maybe I'm in a group of people and one person will know what a dub is, but other people won't. So it turns into a teaching moment from that person in the group to everybody else in the group. And they all have the aha moment like you had, like, oh, you learn something new every day. So it's not
I
that.
did, and let me tell you, bruh, I'm on those lyrics. I'm on those lyrics like you wouldn't believe. I just skated past that part. Bruh, I remember like I was telling my nephew, remember when We Gonna Make It came out? No. Let's Get It came out. And he said give me some baking soda and a quota. I told my nephew went on to actually be a cop. He was a cop here. He just resigned in Atlanta, and he was like 15 at the time. He was like, give me some baking soda and a quarter. I said, no, it's a quota. It's like how much they want. It's a quota. Stop messing up this vibe. But I ain't know what no dub meant. I ain't know what no dub meant. Dub just missed me, I think, because I'm literally the last year before before millennials. I'm the last year. So it's that little gap. It's that little gap. I just missed it. And I say, bruh, I got some lyrics for you. I probably have written some lyrics that have dub in them. But like I said, I always just thought of it as being like double, but never thought about what it was a dub of. Like,
Yeah, I think
I
we
just
would
didn't
have
think
to
about it.
talk. We would have to talk to because to my acknowledgement, I think Baby from Cash Money, the Big Timers, and all that is where I first heard Dub from. So they might be able to give more insight on it. But as far as I know,
Oh
the
yeah, and I
culture.
was on that too. What happened to that boy? The clips. Oh, I was on all of that. It just skipped over me. It
So
just
the
really
so
eluded me.
speaking about the culture, back to the culture, not the nation. The culture ran with the term. Like I said, it's a like it's even models that are able to say that they posed in Dub magazine. It's a notable thing, but just what the dub mean is a 20. They basically talking about it on the rim concept, but still understanding that it's 20. That's why so I say dub is a denomination for 20 in Ebonics. So that's how I teach it, and I mean I wouldn't say I was wrong because that's why because it's translated. I've been from the East Coast to the West Coast, where people know what a dub is, and it's such a cool thing just to see the whole when people that do know compared to people that don't know. So we call those that don't know that they would say out in California. Um, so
All right, Sir Senior is all squared away. We got your dub coming, Tommy T.
and I love the
Sir
name Sir
Senior,
Senior. So like you said, he's on time for everything because
always.
he lives up to his name. Sir Senior is a very powerful name. So that I would love to meet the brother, but I'm definitely going to get him a book, and I'm open for all feedback.
Yes, email me your address, Sir Senior. Go ahead and email it. My email is still the same, of course, groupglowup@gmail.com. I've posted over here on the banner. And so we can, and I'm gonna put you all in a group chat in email. So you can follow up with Sir Senior because he will read your book. He will read
Okay.
your book and he will definitely support. He is that's how he rolls. So definitely.
And then I wrote the
Thank you
book in
again.
I wrote the book in a simplistic form, three sections. You got a United section, you got a nigga section, and I bet you can guess the third section, nation. So, because it's a very heavy topic. I mean, I've seen people cry from looking at the book. I've seen people run from looking at the book. I've seen people frown up from looking at the book. But overall, I see people smile, and that's a priceless moment for me it's been so fun, especially with COVID happening. It kind of gave not COVID and the whole the Black Lives Matter movement of last year or whatever. It gave me like a yellow brick road because I released my book May of 2020. So all the George Floyd and I'm from the hometown of Breonna Taylor. So that definitely touched the nerve.
I actually had my own run in with those actual police. So I remember meeting the brother who shot him. Uh, uh, man, I go blank on his name right now, but he is Kenneth. Kenneth. Nah, but his first name is Kenneth. And I'm just doing my normal marketing, and I ran into a brother. He's buying the book. So I asked him what's his name, and Kenneth Walker. That's his name. So he says Kenneth Walker. I'm like, I know that name. He said, Yeah, I'm Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. Oh my goodness, that was such a profound moment. I had to pound him up. I wanted to give him a hug. Said thank you for shooting that cracker because they jumped me. It was that Officer Mattingly and the other dude that ended up getting fired. They jumped me. That's a history of mine I don't like talking about. But they whooped my ass. So I'm glad he got to get one in. He said, Yeah, I got one for you. But I kind of got on track with that. But yeah, with the all that going on last year, I was able just to go from rally to rally to march, promoting the book, and that was a very eye-opening experience getting to travel across this glorious country. Because believe it or not, America is a beautiful place, but it's just a matter of how you look at it. Being on as I would say it, because being born into racist with a race meaning you have a goal to do something. You have the haves and the have-nots according to America's structure. So unfortunately, black is being labeled as the have-nots, even though you can have everything you want. But it's kind of a stigma that blacks are usually the have-nots. So being able to see the similarities from hood to hood, to city, it's such that the only thing different is the slang. Because where I grew up in Louisville, I was in Louisville for 30 some years. So a lot of this stuff was kind of just thoughts. I didn't know for sure. But actually getting to travel now and seeing for sure that we are more alike than we are different, and seeing that all of our hoods are not controlled by us. We might control the black market, which is a one-way street to illegalness, but to see that you go in a, like I remember walking past so many brothers standing in front of a store, but every time you get past all the brothers and get into the store, you see who's running things. It's hello, my friend. It's hello, how you doing? And it's like, are you kidding me? Dude, I've been to at least I mean easily 150, 200 stores just to get my little cigars, something to drink, something, and I've been to maybe three black-owned stores out of 300, 300. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. And this is from hood to hood across America. This is not just in one state. So, with that being said, that just shows ingrown separation of the two nations that exist here in America. Everybody else gets in where they fit in. But since America started, it was based off two nations, the haves and the have-nots, the majority and the minority, the employer and the employee. They called it a master and a slave. But now the terminology has changed, and we got all type of other things. But man, it just I can go on and on and on, but it's just it is what it is. So I felt like within writing the book, because at the end of the day, I'm not all about the pollution. I'm about the solution. So as I say in my book, we have to. If nobody's going to do this, nobody's going to do it for us. It's about at first things first. We have to acknowledge who we are and where we're from. Because I'm standing in front of a plantation right now. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure black people ride past this every day with wanting nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? If we have to come here and relive our history, it's kind of depressing. But at the end of the day, when you look at what we've done as a people for America, not let alone for ourselves, we have to understand that we're one of the greatest things America has is us. Look at the damn Olympics, for example. Who wins all the medals? Who? And let alone let's say that, like you just said, you pointed out a number that I wasn't even didn't know for sure about, but I know you're right because I see it every day. Look who rents everything. We generate trillions of dollars. That's more than like you got. That's more than any little third world country. Trillions annually, year after year after year for ever since 1865. We fight to pay taxes to a country that's I don't even know the word to what they done to us. Oppressed ain't even the word. But I don't know how many people are familiar with American history, but the Revolutionary War would have never been if it wasn't for a brother, not a brother, a man named Thomas Paine. He wrote, and my name's Thomas Tolbert. See, so that's kind of I'm getting somewhere with this. So he wrote Common Sense. So the Common Sense was like a little pamphlet, and it went as in that time, it went viral. Of course, it wasn't any internet, but like in comparison, it went viral in that time, and it sparked that idea that they don't have to be subject to Great Britain anymore. They can operate as their own nation. They don't have to be subject to them anymore. So that that mustard seed of an idea that he put on paper spread like wildfire through the colonies. And before you know it, they fighting a Revolutionary War. They got a Declaration of Independence. They got this. They got that. All at the same time with us being captive people. So, with that being said, as America was birthed, we were birthed, but as a captive people. So, I say that we're more subject to America than America ever was to Great Britain. So, how do we unsubjective ourselves? Because the whole Black Lives Matter, everything uh, puts a magnifying glass on our subjectification to America because we pay taxes to America. We ask America for this. We basically have a pacifier in our mouth from America, giving us the very things that the slaves had, which was shelter. I'm looking at this plantation. That's why I'm glad I came here to do this interview to really let me feel this. I ran past this place every day, and I never really stopped in here because I wanted to cause ruckus for real. So coming here to do this interview is the smartest thing I feel I could do without possibly getting arrested. So with that being said, I want to, instead of being Thomas Paine, I'm Thomas Tolbert. So we don't have to be subject to America. As long as we stay subject to America, nothing's gonna change. We're gonna forever be marching, picketing, whatever the hell we think works. So until we finally recognize that we are a nation within a nation, I'm not saying we need to go to war because, of course, after America declared their independence, they had to go to war. But I think everybody forgets we already won that war, the Civil War, where they fought to be freed men, and they won because the Union was getting their ass kicked by the Confederate. The Confederate had a vigor and a hate like no other, and they was handing it to the Union. That's why Abraham Lincoln had to do the Emancipation Proclamation just to try to induce black people to come fight. And of course, once they crossed into the freedom lines and getting through all the bigotry, and they finally gave some niggas some guns. Could you imagine what that feels like? Could you just imagine what that was like? Nigga, I get to run up on my master's house and let him have it. Then, oh my God, the movies don't. The movie Glory don't do no justification. They show one of the worst scenarios that we had, where they all got it happened unfortunately, but nobody want to see us getting killed like that. I mean, I don't. What about the stories of us really winning the damn Civil War? Everybody wants to act like America won the Civil War. No, niggas won the Civil War. Nobody's addressing that issue. We won the Civil War, so we don't want another war. We got a Mayweather record. We undefeated. Anytime we go to war, we win. So we don't need those problems. I'm not here to say it's time for Civil War II. I'm here to say everybody knows we're on a technical, more intellectual level now. So it's only way we can really right all these wrongs is by writing. We have to have our own Declaration of Independence. We have to have our own Bill of Rights. We have to have our own Constitution. Shit like that. We got to learn from our parent country because whether we like it or not, America bred us to be who we are. So we have to actually learn from our parent country on what to do. Because we're still in cultural kindergarten, and these motherfuckers is fighting wars over. You know what I'm saying? They got other issues. We a locked in state. We got niggas that still wanting to go be part of that military. I would never. I was about to until I had an epiphany. Like, I'm not fighting for these crackers. You know, I fight for myself. I'm my own army. I use my arms for me. So I sometimes I can get on the tangent. I usually don't get to talk too much. So thank you for letting me get to talk. But oh man, I'm on the plantation talking my shit about my book, so I feel good. But yeah, man, it's a to anybody who's watching. I know I'm new to the whole group. I also want to shout out brother Z. I don't know if he's watching, but that's the brother who I'm friends with on Instagram, and he, I dig a lot of the stuff he talks about. He digs some of the stuff I talk about. So we linked up. I sent him a book, and he just called me the other day saying he heard about you, and so I mean, he spoke with you about the book, and he shared our information with each other, and now look at us on this interview. So I definitely want to shout out Brother Z. If it weren't for him, this wouldn't be possible. But I just, as they say on Coming to America, I'm just happy to be here.
And we are absolutely happy to have you here. And Snuggles, what do you mean fix my face? You want to see a smile? I've been smiling this whole time. This brother has been incredible. He gets it. Incredibly knowledgeable. Like I said, y'all, I have to excuse me. I lost my voice a couple of days ago. The weather has changed. It has, we went from summer over the weekend until Ida, the effects of Ida hit us. So I have lost my voice. It's been the weather change has definitely affected that. But trust me, I am smiling, and I would be a little bit more vocal. But like I said, I'm a little self-conscious because I can, I hear that scratchiness and I don't like it. It's not my usual voice. But I definitely am enjoying just hearing the brother speak. And I hope that you are too. Snuggles is also a great supporter. He is amazing. So Snuggles, please also support if you can. And I am going to go ahead. What is your email address? I'm going to go ahead and put that up on the banner so people can see that, because we're about to get into our top 6 at 6. We have officially crossed our 1 hour mark. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this long. I know you're busy. You gotta get in there and kick some butt and sell some books. But we're gonna do our top 6 at 6, and then we're gonna close out. But what is your email address? And I'm also gonna, of course, post your Cash App. What's your email address?
Okay, great. My email address is United in Nation, ASI@gmail.com. So once again, it's United in, the letter N, Nation at ASI@gmail.com. United in Nation, ASI@gmail.com. And if I got just if I can squeeze this in 1 minute, we know we live in the USA. We know everybody's scared of the FBI, the CIA, the DEA. It's the power of threes, the Holy Trinity. The Holy Ghost, the Father, the Spirit, all that stuff. It's all about threes, 3, 3, 3, 3. Even Black Lives Matter is a 3. So I said, what's the 3 that works for me? A united nigga nation. Yeah. So that's my 3.
Yeah, I am life, love, legacy. Life, love, legacy. Let me hear everybody else's 3s. I love that. Life, love, legacy. Mother, son, because it's just 3. The Holy Trinity is 3 with me. We have mother, son, and daughter. So I call them son and diamond. Mother, son, diamond. Queen, prince, princess. But what's everybody else's 3? I love that. Okay, so I'm putting your Cash up here on the banner. Oh, and Snuggles, you are really tripping. I do not do no puff pass, brother. Trust me. Okay, you real funny. He trying to be funny today, especially because he heard me mention it. I've never smoked. So I think that honestly, it's a good thing because I'm a Cancer, so I'm kind of selfish. Selfish. I wouldn't be passing. I think if I got it, I would be like, this mine. And that's so, right. That probably would have been the cause of a lot of fights. So, God just knew what was best with just making sure I never even did it. Cause I would be one of those type of people. Cause I am that way with, I haven't drunk in 7 years. It'll be 8 years actually coming soon. But when they would be supposed to share like a, what they used to call those things, wine coolers. People would get like, it'd be like, they'd be like, this is backwash. Courtney, you done drunk it all. So You know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, y'all. I don't do the drugs or nothing. That's why I wouldn't be well with also polygamy, y'all. I wouldn't, because I promise you, the sister wives would be mad at me, because that thing would come back just depleted and empty, and they be like, Courtney done sucked up all the babies. The man tired. We can't get no play with the man. It just won't work with me. It will work with some other females. It won't work with me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna be very honest, keep it real. I'm a very selfish girl. I'm a very selfish girl. So I'm gonna put your Cash App up here, and then we're gonna get to the top 66. But I'm loving the conversation, brother. You really are a breath of fresh air. It's very enlightening, very enlightening. Go ahead and call it out to me, because I have the other device
The
clicked
Cash App,
on. Yeah, it's the money symbol. I already have that. Go ahead.
the number 4,
Yep.
and then my social media name, Tommie T.
But it's Tommie IE, right?
No, it's Tommie, Tommy, Tommie like heel figure, and then TEE.
Yeah, okay, because that's right. It's the opposite, because the first time I was trying to do it just off memory, and Tommie T is a whole nother person. That is not you. So we want to make sure we get this right. It's a whole nother person. It's not Tommy Sotomayor, but it's a whole nother person. I was just like, let me confirm with him before I send this.
No, it's Tommie like heel figure, and then TEE. That's TEE. I mean, I told one person that, and they typed in T and a W and then an E. I was like, oh man, I didn't listen to too much rap in my life. Like everything kind of. Sometimes I get to talking to like I'm rapping, like my.
All right, so I have it up on the screen. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's his Cash App, you all. If you would like to go ahead and purchase, I did the first book order is coming from me on behalf of Sir Senior. So, but everybody else, please, directly link your own. So, what do we have here? What it said, mother, son, and daughter. Do you understand the song? That song, very feministic. I don't know that song. I haven't heard it. But my daughter was my diamond was my firstborn. So that's why, mother's son, even though I say son, my diamond was born before my son. But my son was born the first month of the year, which is incredible. My son is number 1. My son was born number 1.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing the top 66, everybody. Y'all know what time this is. This is when we do our fun round robin style questions for our guest of the hour, so we can really find out what's going on. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So number 6. I see it. That looks like, I love the columns. Let me tell you, the columns were significant of earlier plantations. I study plantations. We're going to talk about that more too. I study plantations because it is the epicenter of economics. Like you said, with rent, that's how but the reason how it became very understood, and the reason how we kind of commandeered that role as being the labor force and the economic movers was because of slavery. And the plantations were the epicenter of economics, of Southern economics. That is the plantations. So not only did you have livestock, which was us, that's what we were considered, livestock that they could hire out to other farms.
For in insurance, and I mean, the list is
everything. The first thing ever traded.
I learned that like managers, basically the overseers is the first one of managers, and then keeping inventory and all that stuff to be able to stuff out any rebellion. They had to start keeping inventory because the rebellions that did happen, they was like, how the hell they get this pitchfork? How they get this hose? So they had to start keeping inventory and have managers and all that. So the whole industry that we know of now all stems from slavery. Don't let these people fool you trying to think like, oh, that's all has nothing to do with now. Bullshit.
It has everything to do with it. And it was and there were books written about how slavery wasn't economical. It was not an economically fit or sound way of building capitalism. If it wasn't economically fit, how come y'all did it for so long? Because I tell you, if something don't serve you for more than a month, you'd be like, man, I'm done with that. You know what I mean? Somebody might play lottery. Really, the average person will play lottery about 2 years, and then sporadically, they'll go back and forth. But the average person plays lottery about 2 years. So you telling me that this whole system was so draining and it wasn't working economically, but y'all continued it for hundreds of years? Y'all get the
It wasn't working for
GTFOH.
everybody. Like through I'm sorry, I can't wait to do the six of six, but it wasn't working for everybody. When the Industrial Revolution came and the people of the North that didn't have all the land and stuff, that's where those are the people that had that argument. And
Right.
And that's a whole nother reason why race was created, because the indentured servants, they were able to be uplifted because they had the same complexion as the majority of the masters. So the whole race thing was created off the basis of slavery and then appeasing the white people that was just as poor as us and even dumber than us. So appeasing them was the whole the codes and all that bullshit came to where we couldn't even own a gun, or the list goes on and on. But I don't know if anybody's seen that show Black as Fuck. So like how he's always his answer to everything is because of slavery. And my daughter was like, "That's you. That is you." But like I'm able to give the reason, and we look at a lot of this stuff as funny, but I wanted to be a comedian, but then I got tired of people laughing at me. So no, it's not. This shit's not funny, but we can make jokes about it. But at the end of the day, this shit's more serious than the breath we inhaling, because
it's true. I love that.
Our legacies are like. I just don't want to see us steady talking about cultures and like this stuff is not still living. It's very much still living. I mean, the number that you hit me with earlier about this renter stuff just got me ready just to walk away from a lot of stuff. But I'm sorry. Let's do the what's called 6 at 6.
6 at 6. Let's go. You ready? All right, here we go. All right, number 6. Absolutely. Prince or Michael Jackson? You can only keep one. Who you keeping?
Prince or Michael? God damn, yo, oh my goodness. Whoo. Shit. Who am I keeping? My mama's favorite singer is Prince. I like Michael Jackson. So hopefully, I don't think my mama gonna see this, so I'm gonna have to roll with Mike.
We gonna put the M's down. We gonna put them M's down. We gonna put them M's down. Michael, put them up. Put them up. West side up, inside down.
My favorite Michael Jackson song is "Man in the Mirror."
I was just about to say that. I promise you, bro, I'm right here. You may be a Gemini. I'm a Cancer, but I'm right here, bro. I'm right here.
My favorite Prince song is "Diamonds and Pearls." So in just weighing out those two songs, that's an easy one.
My favorite Prince song is 7, and Adore. Those are my favorite Prince. But my favorite Michael song is so many. Man, Will You Be There from Free Willy? That song went so hard, y'all.
And when he like that on the video, he felt that. Hey, plus that they don't really care about us. They forgot about that.
They don't really care about us. Keep It in the Closet. Bruh, Earth Song. Yeah. Bruh, because I love animals. I don't know. My cat's upstairs sleeping. I got 3.
In general, I know a lot on social media. I try not to do that because that's like in Back to the Future where like you change something and it changes everything after the fact. So I'm not really messing with that. But I get the questions. But let's just say they both was in a plane together and they crashed or something. They both died at the same time or something. I don't know. I don't want to pick one or the other.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
I mean, all right. They both gone.
All right, number 5, with you being from Kentucky, are living in Florida, okay? Where are you taking your last meal from?
My last meal from?
Yeah.
I'm cooking it. But I like cooking. That's another thing we gotta talk about. I like cooking, and I'm a vegan. I say I don't eat nothing that has a mouth. So where am I eating it from? I like overall, I like Jamaican food. I never been to Jamaica, but I love me some Jamaican food. So
But they got more Jamaican food in Florida than they gonna have in Kentucky. So you
But I
taking
had
it
the
from
best
Kentucky?
Jamaican. I had
I
the
mean, you
best
taking it from
Jamaican food in
Florida?
DC. I had the best Jamaican food in DC when I was writing my book. They got some.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that shit was amazing. I tried to
But you
get
only
something down
have
here.
those two options to choose from: Kentucky and Florida.
Well,
So
I'm
where
going
you
to
taking your
Kentucky.
last meal from?
I'm taking it from Kentucky.
You taking it from Kentucky?
I'm
You
a
gonna
Kentucky
find
boy at heart.
Jamaican food in Kentucky?
It ain't gonna be Jamaican. It's gonna be some Kentucky food.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna
I got
barbecue.
you.
And it's gonna be my barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna do it on a plantation that we bought in Kentucky.
I love it. I will be there. I will be there. I will be there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ooh, we coming up on number 4. Number 4. Now, you said that your influence has been, your book, your bookworming from all your days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have been your most inspiring author?
It's actually he's not really well known, but it's my mentor Norah Shelton, Dr. Norah Shelton. He wrote America's Little Black Book. Once you get into my book, you will see that he opened my eyes to bridging the Black and the African American, and all the different identities that people of melanin run around with here in America. He bridged all that for me and just basically said, "We are descendants of American slaves. Quit playing,
Yeah.
y'all. We descendants of American slaves. All that other wishy-washy is just different connotations of that. So if you look at any fact about Black people, African Americans, or whatever, and disparities with any and everybody else, if you say that they're descendants of American slaves, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I
Saying
love that.
Black, saying African American, saying any of that shit kind of puts like a question mark or a comma in it. But if you say the descendants of American slaves have a disparity compared to any other race in the country, it makes perfect sense.
That's the bottom line. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. So his name is Dr.
You went out. Did that go out for everybody or just for me? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Your picture went out.
Hold on.
No, I just see a logo.
I don't know what's going on.
Me neither. They trying to get us. You know what's going on.
Now somebody called me, and
that's what happened. Yeah, it's going to take a minute for you to come back in. I mean, for the picture to come back up. All right, but we moving right along. Now, money's not an issue. You're going to be totally bankrolled and funded. What political position are you running for?
I'm the HNIC.
You running for president?
Yeah.
I would say Congress. If you think you're gonna be the HNIC.
I'd rather call it the HNIC. I know it don't exist, but
that's what you would rather call it. Got you. But if the HNIC, because you could be that. You know what the C could stand for Congress.
Yeah, head nigga in Congress. Like what's her name?
It could. The reason why I say Congress is because Congress has they have longer terms. They have longer terms. You can yeah. That's why I say Congress, because the president you got 8 years tops. You could spend over 20 years in Congress, bruh. Can you imagine?
I'm from Kentucky. Trust, we know. I got Mitch McConnell's punk ass. He been there my whole life, and my mama.
Your whole life. Bruh, we can talk about that another day.
Yeah, I wanna be the black Mitch McConnell.
Okay, right. So you Congress. Got you. Got you. All right. Ooh, we moving, we cutting down. All right. I'm like I said, I'm with you on the veggie tip, and I love cooking, and I hear you like to make your own barbecue sauce and that sort of thing. Now, but you're vegan now. So is that what's one non-vegan vegetarian meal that you miss the most?
Gonna have to be my chicken, my barbecue chicken.
How long has it been?
Over a year. Actually,
Okay.
September is when I stopped. So it was before September I had my last barbecue. So I haven't found a supplement for chicken. Like it's just it's nothing compares to it. Like when you chew it off the bone, that whole carnivoristic, and then the flavor is just so good. I finally perfected it, but it was hard to even find a good grade of chicken anymore at one point. So I still hear people complaining about the scarcity in chicken and stuff. So it is what it is. But I do remember my chicken, boy. I used to barbecue and like it was my chicken be so good. I didn't even get some sometimes. Like I'll put it up like it's ready, and then when I'm ready for mine, it be gone. So I'd be happy to see everybody telling me, "Oh man, chicken's so good. Oh man, chicken's so good." But at the end of the day, I want some too. So I start having to cook my own batch. But yeah, I do miss my chicken.
Well, you are from Kentucky, so it would make only sense that chicken is a favorite for you.
And it ain't the fried,
KFC.
it's the grill. See, my fried chicken used to be, I used to make the 14 karat gold chicken because it used to be so shiny. It looked like 14 karat gold just sitting there. And it was
Wow.
weird. Don't get me talking about, y'all gonna make me relapse. No. But
I'm for it. I'm for a little relapsing.
No, not me. A quick history lesson though. Of course, we all know that Colonel Sanders got his recipe from you know what,
Yes. Stolen.
It's his wife's restaurant is still in Kentucky called Claudia Sanders because whatever they selling now at KFC is not it. So at Claudia Sanders, if you're ever in Kentucky, in Shelbyville, Kentucky, you can go to Claudia Sanders and really eat the original recipe from they say the Colonel. I forget the black lady's name because I used to work for KFC as a teenager, and in class they kind of gave us like this little story, and they said his nanny, Manny, whatever basically the ex-slave that was still part of the family. It was her, he learned from her, and that's I forget her name. I need to look that up, but yeah, that's another hit. I'm full of facts. I'm a factitician.
I like that. I like that. Have you ever thought about going on Jeopardy?
Yeah, I used to love playing that game. It's one of I used to love that game. I ain't like Rosie Perez was on White Men Can't Jump, but I be getting a couple of them right.
Right, but I'm saying, have you ever thought about going on?
Nah, I ain't that good. I would be the most negative numbers ever.
Nah, you think about it. You would just study up. That's all.
Yeah.
You would just study up before you go.
Well, it's something to think about. Well, Alex Trebek.
Absolutely.
Who they got hosting there? I ain't even seen it.
Oh, the last guy, he resigned amid some controversy, some things that he said, some tweets that resurfaced.
Ain't that a whooping?
Yeah. His name was Mike, I believe, Richardson. He just resigned. He was only up for 1 week. So now they're rotating again with the host search, but they're sticking with just doing it rotation style for for the time being.
That keeps the fans interested. Who's going to be next? Who's hosting next?
Yeah, I think that's so corny though. It really is like a kind of a disservice. All right, we down to our last question. Ooh, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be the drum roll. Okay. So, I love this. I really do. So you mentioned the Olympics. All right, you mentioned the Olympics earlier, and this fact that we had won the most medals. All right. Do you remember any of the athletes that were in the 1968 Olympics that did the black fist?
Yes, actually, we can end this on a good note then, because
great.
In my book, I like to say in the trying to get right to it, because after every section in the book, I have like a question and answer, and also
great. Oh my gosh, are you serious? And I didn't even know that, y'all. This is not planned, y'all.
And
I forgot where I put it. Hold on. It's in here. It's in here. I got their name. Tommie something. Tommie.
It was
Hold on.
Tommie Lee.
No, not Tommie Lee. It's because he ended
Yeah,
up
well, his name is Tommie Lee Dave. Yeah, it was
his
Tommie
wife
Lee
ended up
Davis.
divorcing. He ended up getting a divorce and everything for doing that. But damn, where's it at? Hold on. It's right here. Okay, yes. It's in the 10 Umoja examples. So because like I said, the first section is united. So I'm giving 10 examples of us how we are united as a people, whether we like it or not. So the number 2 thing is the upward fist salute Tommie Smith and John and Carlos are famous for is a gesture for acknowledgement and support of advancing the liberation, wealth, and resources of a descendant of American slave nation. It's already in print. I ain't just make it up.
Look at there, y'all. Look at there. Yes.
I don't know if I'm doing it. Can you see? Number
I can
2.
see it.
Yeah, number
I can
2.
see it.
Yeah. So
And I love it. So listen, that has been awesome. So Tommie Smith, I was saying Tommie Lee. I don't know why I said Davis. Listen, on Claim Malcolm X Day this past year for May 19th, Claim Malcolm X Day, he was supposed to be the guest speaker. So I have a little something I'm going to give you that we were supposed to give to him that he wasn't able to get for you knowing that answer. So we're going to be doing a nice exchange of gifts. So
yeah.
with that being said, we are going to close out the show. As you guys know, I'm going to leave the comment section up for a little bit, as well as the main screen running so you can see Tommie T's information, not Tommie Lee. Tommie T's information, his Cash App, as well as his email. You can scroll up and see the email address, his email address, so that you can order a book from him directly. Sir Senior, as soon as I wrap, which will be in about 5 minutes, I am going to touch base with Tommie so we can go ahead and get your book ordered. I'm going to give him your email. I'm sorry, going to give him your postal address, your physical address, so we can get that ordered for you. And Tommie,
I'll
I
send
would
them out
love
first thing in
for,
the morning. I'm gonna send them out first
yes,
thing in the morning, and I
perfect.
can't wait to hear the feedback because, like I said,
That's what I was going to say. I would love to, if we could, maybe even do a follow-up show where you discuss the book, Sir Senior, and anybody else that orders the book. But I would love to do a follow-up show with you so we can discuss that. And I will definitely be, we're going to be building. We're going to be in touch. I would love to have you on a little, well, I won't say a little, but I do a book and bites brunch, and I would love to have you on. It's called When Lions Write, because until lions learn how to write, what happens? The tale of victory always goes to the hunter. Always goes to the hunter.
that's right.
Okay. So we're going to I want to talk with you more about organizing that, getting you here to Atlanta, and having you out to the plantation village over here. And I just can't.
You froze up. You froze up. All right, everybody. It looks like she froze up. So if y'all still tuned in, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I hope it was whatever you were looking for, whether it be entertaining, informational, insightful, or whatever. I'm happy to be a guest, and can't wait to be back on. Are you back now? I was trying to. You back? You back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's buffering on my end.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was
but
just.
I mean, I can hear you. I can hear you fine. I just can't see me.
Okay. I can see you, and I know
Okay,
it kind of
good.
froze. It kind of froze
Yes,
up for a second.
it's yeah.
So I
But
think
no, I was saying I could hear you the whole time and I want to thank you because it's very imperative, like what we're saying. It is no other time in history for that uniting of us to happen like it is right now. And
yeah.
so it's imperative that we continue to build and connect with those that we are vibing with. So that's
Yeah.
all I wanted to say. But I'm going back on mute. You can have the last word, and I just want people to again get your information while they're still in the room.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite things to always end with when I am talking with people is to wish everybody a blessed and fortunate day, and thanks for having me. And if you didn't get nothing from today's conversation, at least I want you to know that Black America is not just a culture, we are a nation. And within being a nation, so much can come with that, to where I mean, the opportunities are endless. Within the book, I talk about Black privilege, which means opportunity comes to those who create it. So within acknowledging the nation that we are and have been, but just actually getting it solidified and giving our marching right. I mean, giving our marching rights and giving our declaration, we can do actually whatever we want. This is our country. This is our land. This is our territory. Our ancestors fought and won for all of this territory. So we are basically walking away from our birthright with this acting like we're a culture. We are a nation. And I'm Thomas Tolbert, and I'm going to die about that. I'm not changing my opinion about that at all. I know we are a nation, and what we have to do next is come together in identity to claim our nationality. Because everybody's cool with the culture, but nobody's really acknowledging the nation. So within ending, I always like to say, what's 1 + 1? Deuces.